Hey everybody, it's John. Welcome to my true crime podcast entitled Finding My Brother's Killer. As you know in this episode from the title, we have a copy of the police report. Yay. Or so you would think. I need to say one disclaimer first off. If I swear profusely, it's because I'm sort of upset about this, and it's sort of a bit of a personal issue for me at this moment. But I want to go over the police report with you. Now, part of the problem here is that, keep in mind, my brother died or was found dead on a Sunday night around midnight, right before Christmas. Christmas was 4 days later. So the people who were responding to this call were a rookie and a 1-year guy. So, that being the case, let me read the police report to you. Blah, blah, blah. December 19th, 23:41 hours. Here, I'm going to read through the highlighted things of interest. Notifications made. Next of kin. Notification date, December 19th at 23:45 by the Office of the Medical Investigator. That is patently bullshit. My parents didn't know that my brother had died until that homeless person called at 4 o'clock in the morning their time. My parents would not talk to or hear from the police for another 3 hours. So they didn't call, as this report is indicating. On December 19th at approximately 22:20 hours, I was dispatched for a welfare check at Indian School Road. The caller, Megan Taylor, now that's who my brother worked with, advised that she worked with Lewis and had not heard from him in a couple of days and asked for a welfare check. Megan also advised several weeks ago, Lewis advised there was an unknown female in the apartment who pointed a gun at him, but was not reported to the police. That's a bunch of irrelevant hearsay, and I hate to say it, but it shouldn't be in this report. When I arrived on scene, I knocked on the door of the apartment without an answer. There was mail on the front of the door, and I continued to knock on the window. I checked the door to the apartment, which was unlocked, and the door opened slightly. So again, as I said, it's midnight, Sunday night, it's 15 degrees out, and the door is unlocked and opened about that much. That doesn't raise suspicion? Let's see, where was I? Due to the comments given by Megan, the officer gave announcement into the apartment and went inside to conduct the welfare check. Once inside the apartment, Lewis was found dead on his bed, face down, and the apartment was clear of any other persons inside. EMS was dispatched to the scene and advised Lewis was deceased. There was paraphernalia on the dresser next to the bed and couch, as well as foil in the trash with black residue. That implies that he was smoking something off the foil. When we talk about the autopsy report and some of the Department of Corrections paperwork, we'll come back to that idea of drugs and their use. Yes, there was drug paraphernalia within sight, but it wasn't right here. It would have to be right here in front of you if you're going to do something and then die. Okay? It was over there on top of a dresser and over there in front of the couch. It wasn't right here. A CS unit was dispatched to the scene to process it as well as OMI to take the body. OMI gave the time of death at 0:15 hours and removed the body from the appointment. The fucked up thing is that they made no effort to determine time of death. when one of the officers said to the medical investigator girl, time of death, she did one of these, 1:15. That was it. I guess the assumption is that he's dead as of right now. What happened before doesn't really matter. Kind of fucked up. Anyway, several friends and family arrived on scene. This is where it gets interesting, including Mike Taylor, who advised us that Lewis was his brother. But that was undetermined due to Mike leaving the scene after providing his information. An unknown female advised she was the roommate of Lewis and stated Lewis's brother notified her of the incident and that she would take possession of the cat inside as well as lock up the apartment. The unknown female also advised Lewis had overdosed on fentanyl approximately 1 week prior, where she had to give him Narcan. I also contacted the caller to advise of Lewis being deceased, the caller being Megan, and provided a case number for reference. And that's about it. So let's talk about some shit in this report. First off, if I call the cops right now or the sheriff or anybody to come out and talk to them about the shooting that's going on next door to my property here, which I guess is legal. Anyway, they would come out and we would talk for a minute or two. And at some point, once the guy took his little pocket notebook out and started writing shit down, he would ask me for my driver's license. That has always happened in my life. They've asked for the driver's license, whether I'm the person that is part of the report or not. So I don't understand why this Mike Taylor, who claims to be my brother, and the female roommate were not asked to provide their driver's licenses or any sort of identification. Let's go back again to the idea that Mike Taylor is my brother. He is not. Mike Taylor is actually a drug dealer who lives in Building C. My brother lived in Building D. Mike Taylor lives in Building C. Mike Taylor is a homeless scumbag drug dealer. And what I think happened was that they were there in Building C with feelers out to my brother's apartment. So when the cops arrived, and by feelers I mean, hey, when you see the cops go to that apartment next door or wherever, call us, because there were a lot of these scum right around there. Anyway, so when the cops are at the apartment pulling my brother's body out of there, this homeless douchebag comes to sort of nose around. But as I said, Mike Taylor is not my brother. And then the girlfriend, again, no driver's license, no name, no nothing. So you might as well just not even mention her. But she goes and offers into account the idea that there was a fentanyl overdose a week before this. Again, that is such bullshit. And I know that now because I have the Department of Corrections drug test results on my brother 48 hours before he died. No fentanyl in his body. But we'll get to that in another episode. Okay? Let's see. So, the report is full of bullshit, basically. The interested parties are the reporting party, Megan Wilcox, the co-worker. Strangely enough, interestingly enough, her phone number is not redacted. It's intact there. Then we go down to the offense location. That's where my brother died. Then we go down to my brother's information. And you can see the last four of his social security number is redacted. But then you have an involved other. And there's actually two entries for involved other. One of the involved others is Mike Taylor, which I guess sort of makes sense because he was talking to the cops there on the balcony. The other involved other is me. And so my name and my address and all of my information appears in this police report, even though I hadn't been to Albuquerque for 5 years prior to my brother dying. Uh, so I have no idea why I'm mentioned in this police report. Now, this police report is so full of hearsay, as I mentioned, and inaccurate information that it is essentially, in my opinion, a piece of shit. But the problem is that this is a legal document that is admissible in court. And as such, it is the word of truth, the word of the law, if you will. And therein lies a problem. So, what did I do after this? Well, I'll tell you what I did. I was kind of unhappy with the way the investigation had gone. And I contacted Internal Affairs. And I was put onto the office of the, what is it? The Civilian Oversight Police Committee. It's basically an outside group that investigates inappropriate behavior and whatnot within the police department. So they launched an investigation. We will get back to that investigation in another episode because it would take I think it would take 9 months for them to flesh out what really happened. So, with that being the case, I'm going to end this episode and invite you to go on to the next one where we discuss the strange and inappropriate text messages. Okay, John out.